Hi guys, today's video is super exciting because Lethal Cosmetics have come out with a new collection. They did send it to me in PR. I got it like 2 days ago and I've just been looking at it, wanting to film with it because it's also beautiful. So I can't wait to show you what came in this collection. So of course, as usual, there is an eyeshadow palette. This is called the Velvet Dusk palette, which I think is a really cool name. And it also has like a new type of packaging. I really like this. I think it's very nice and sleek. And the inside of it is absolutely beautiful as well. Just like with any other Lethal palette, I think they did a fantastic job with this color story. There's so many just grungy, yummy, dark shades in here, and I also love the tones in it. And I think that I'll be able to get some really cool looks out of this. This palette also has what they describe as a trichrome, so apparently there's a multichrome in here. I couldn't really see it in the swatches myself when I did swatch this palette, but maybe on the eyes it will come out a little bit more. All of these shades are sold individually on their website if you wanted to maybe pick up one or two of them, and also all of Lethal's palettes are magnetic, which is great. So what you can do is you can kind of poke them out here because there are little holes in them. So if you have a lot of Lethal shadows, you can kind of move them around and make your own palettes and such. I think that is such a fantastic idea, and I wish that all brands had magnetic palettes because it just makes it so much more fun and versatile if you can kind of switch things around. The collection also came with 4 of their gel eyeliners. You guys know I love their gel liners so much. I swear I use them probably 90% of the time I do my makeup. I have one of them in my waterline or I use it as an eyeliner because I love them so much. They are such a fantastic formula. I was so happy to see them come out with new ones, and I feel like I've been telling them for so long, like, please come out with a red gel liner because no other brands have one that's good. So they came out with a red one and I'm really excited. I'm gonna show you all of the colors, of course. So there's a beautiful mustard, which is called Hurts, and I don't think I've ever seen a mustard gel liner before. I mean, that's kind of unheard of, so I love that they did that. There's also the red one, which is called Q, which, like I said, super excited to be trying that out. There's another one, it's a little bit of a darker red. This is called Face, and then the last one is a beautiful teal eyeliner, which is called Threshold. So let me tell you just quickly what the pricing of these things are, because I do have the website pulled up here. So the palette is $47 and the gel liners are $15. I also do have a code with Lethal. It will give you 10% off. It's not affiliated. I think it's just Annette. I will of course have it on the screen as usual, as well as down in my description box. So I think we should just go ahead and play with this because I'm so excited. I do want to just swatch that trichrome again before we get into it. It's the one called Revolve. So this one right here, it's described as a purple, blue, red trichrome with a glittery metallic finish. So I'm just gonna swatch it again. When I swatched it, it was quite sheer, and I'm not really sure if I can really see the shift in that. I mean, you probably can't see it because beauty lights and a camera and not the best lighting, but I can't see like a very strong shift. There's definitely a shift, but I wouldn't call this like a very intense multichrome if that is what you're looking for. But it's probably going to be quite subtle if you are going to see the shifts in it. But let me go ahead and start by priming my eyes with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base. And I did already put on a little bit of bronzer, but I thought that we could also play with some of the blushes after I'm done with the look, and maybe one of the highlighters as well if it's going to go with the look that I end up doing. So I don't really know what I want to do, but I definitely want to use some of these liners. I'm thinking I want to maybe play with the red liner. Do I want to do a big wing again today? I feel like I've done so many of those lately, but they're just so fun and I love doing them. And especially with these gel liners, they're just perfect for that. So maybe I will do that again today. I have a plan. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with this shade up here. I just realized that my slip is over here and the names are probably on the back of the slip. So let me see if I can figure out what this one is called. So I think this one is called Desi. I don't know if that is how you say that, but I'm gonna start with that in my crease and I'm going to blend it out with this lighter purple. So you guys know whenever I use a dark blue or a dark purple on my eye, I tend to go in with my darkest shade first just because they tend to sometimes be a little bit tricky to layer. So I just want to make sure that I get this to be nice and intense, and I probably shouldn't have put that in the outer corner of my eye since I am going to go in with that gel liner, but this will be a nice test for the liner to see how pigmented it really is. So I'm going to just take this in my crease in a very round shape. Quite a bit of kick up in the pan here, a little bit of fallout on my face, but I am going in quite heavy, so not really surprised by that. It's also a little bit of a drier formula. It's gonna blend the edge ever so slightly before I go in with that purple. I think I'm also going to take this underneath my eye here. I might take something else and blend this color out with, but I just want to have the blue all the way around. I'm then going to take the purple here. Like I said, this one is called Cryptic, and I'm going to use that to blend out this blue with. And I feel like these are going to make for a beautiful transition. And I love just how grungy this palette is. I know I already said it, but I am a sucker for dark, colorful mattes. They just make me so happy. This looks really cute. I like this a lot. And I think it's going to be kind of fun too to have the wing be sort of lighter than the colors that I have in my crease. Sorry, my camera shut off. I'm just working on the blend here with this purple to make sure that it's nice and intense, but also blend it out. And then I'm thinking maybe I want to take the teal shade and blend out underneath my eye. Like, could that be kind of fun? I don't know, it's an idea. Maybe I'll try to do that. Because I'm here, why not? Let's go into the teal. This one is called Inertia. Again, a little bit of kick up in the pan, but not anything that bothers me. I'm going to use this as my blending out shade underneath my eye here and just kind of see how that works out. And I think this is going to turn into a pretty fun look. And I also think for my lid shade, I want to use the pink shimmer. I think that could look kind of nice with the purples that I have in my crease. Beautiful. Again, a little bit of fallout. Sorry about that. Our dog is barking because our groceries just came. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go into the red gel liner. He is very excited. Every time he can hear someone coming, he's just the most excited because he thinks that someone is there to visit him, but most of the time they're not. I'm going to take this red liner here in the shade Q. And you guys will probably see me do my big wings quite often. If not, I will leave my tutorial up in the corner because it's so hard to explain what I'm doing while I'm doing it, but I'm just going to use a liner brush and create the wing width. And after that, we're going to go in with some of these shimmers on the lid. This thing is creamy and I love it. I love how creamy these are when you first get them. They do dry up a little bit in time. The ones that I have already in my collection I've had now for, I want to say 6 months maybe, and they've definitely started to dry out a little bit, but not to a point where I have to use any kind of mixing medium to revive them. They're just not as creamy as they were when you first bought them, which makes sense. And I also use mine so often that I'm like constantly opening them, so it makes sense that mine is drying up a little bit here, but that looks really nice. I mean, that was one layer and I'm not mad at that. I think I got these pretty even today, which is always a good day when my wings end up being even. I'm gonna take some of my NYX glitter primer before we go in with these shimmers. Just gonna take that all over my lid where I want my shimmer to be. Not gonna do a cut crease or anything. I think I'm only gonna use one shimmer on the lid because it's so beautiful that I really want to showcase it. And the one that I want to use is going to be this beautiful duochrome up here. It's a orange to pink, I think it looks like. Not really sure, maybe like a peach to pink, I don't know, but oh, look at that. That looks so cute. So I'm just gonna slap that all over my eyelid. Oh, I love that. I think this is gonna turn out really nice. Also just going to gently tap the shimmer into my crease a little bit here so we don't have a harsh line because that's just not the look that I'm going for. I might take another shade and pop that in my inner corner, but I think this is basically going to be the look. And just to finish off, I'm going to take this shade up in the corner, which is more of a highlighting shade. This one is called Limbo. Going to spray this a little bit, and that's going to be my inner corner shade. And I think that's basically going to be the look. Maybe I will use one of the liners in my waterline as well. I don't really know if any of the other ones except for the teal is going to go. That's really cute. I like that. It's a very basic shade, but it goes very nicely with the rest of the shades in this palette. And I do like having some kind of an inner corner shade. It's definitely not a must, but when it's in there, I am not mad. I'm just going to blend that into both the lid shade as well as underneath my eye. I think this is it. Let me go ahead and finish off my eyes and then I'll come back and we can do some blush and highlight together. Okay, so this is the look all done, well, except for the rest of my face. I went ahead and I put the mustard shade in my waterline as well as I did a little line just on top of the red here. You'll see it a bit better in the close-ups, but let's go ahead and finish off the face. So I have my Lethal blushes here and I'm thinking, is today the day for an orange blush? Orange blushes scare me a little bit, but I do really want to test out these two. So maybe I can do like a bit of a orange yellow blush draping. Like, would that be kind of crazy? The answer is of course yes, because it's probably not going to go with this look at all, but maybe we'll just go ahead and try it. So I'm going to take the orange blush to start off. Gonna make sure to tap this off a little bit. I'm using the new blush brush from Kaleidos. Gonna start by just tapping it on the upper part of my temple. Is this my temple? What is this area here called? Is there a name for that? I'm not sure, but that actually looks quite cool. I don't hate that. I'm a little bit scared of the yellow. I don't know if I'm gonna use the yellow. Maybe I'll use a little bit of it, but this is going to be like my upper shade. Gonna put a little bit of this on my nose as well. Maybe that's gonna make me look really crazy, but you will never know if you don't try. That's actually quite cute. I'm not hating on this. I feel like it kind of goes with my sweater as well. It definitely helps that I'm wearing a mustard sweater. Like, I don't think that I'd pick this color if I wasn't wearing this already. And I'm gonna dip into the yellow just ever so slightly. Gonna tap that off a little bit as well, and that's just gonna go like on the lower portion of my blush placement. I don't want a lot of this, I just want a little bit. Do I like this? That is the question. I'm like undecided, I swear. Every time I do like a crazy blush color, I'm like, do I like this? I don't know, you guys. You're gonna have to tell me. Did I just mess up this look? Or does it look kind of cool? I don't know, but we're just gonna, it does look kind of crazy, doesn't it? Like just a little bit. I don't know. Let me go ahead and find a highlighter that I want to use. I'm gonna go with this one in the Lethal Vernal palette, and I'm gonna just use that as my highlighter because I do not think that I've used this shade on my face yet. I think this is a bit of a, how would I explain this? I feel like I ask that all the time, but it's got a bit of a yellow shift to it. Like it's almost like a pink to yellow, pink to champagne kind of thing. I don't know, I feel like it's gonna go nicely with this look, and I do really like the highlighters from Lethal. I mean, that looks quite nice. I feel like that's blending into the blush that I have very nicely. Ooh, I think I like that. I think I like this. I think that was a good choice to go with this blush. The blush, on the other hand, not sure if that was a good choice, but if I'm going to do anything to save it, it's going to be to have a nice highlighter to go with it. I'm gonna put a little bit of this on my nose as well, just to highlight that yellow blush even more. And I think this is going to be the look. Do I like this? I can't decide. I think it's the blush that's throwing it off. I really like the eye look though, and I really like how the shadows performed. I didn't have any issues with any of them. Like I always say, if you start with the darkest shade first, you're never going to run into having like patchiness problems with purples and blues. So I would say that's definitely a tip that I would give if you sometimes struggle with those kind of colors, because it's just going to make your life so much easier, and it's just like such a foolproof way to make shadows work. And I'm happy with this palette. I think it's really, really cute. I definitely want to play more with it. I don't know if I have time to do more looks with this palette right now, because currently I am about 9 looks behind that I've already promised, and I don't know what's going to come in the next 2 weeks. So I don't want to promise anything, but I do want to do more looks with this. Maybe at some point I can do 2 more looks with this. That's probably the most that you're going to be able to get, but if you want to see it, do let me know and I can probably do that. So I think that's going to be it for today's video. I don't really have anything to like complain about or nitpick about, or I mean, it all performed great, and I really do like Lethal as a brand, so I'm not surprised that everything that I tried today I ended up liking. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you want to see some more of my Lethal videos, I will have my Lethal playlist on the screen, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.